for today's cup of coffee.
A cup of coffee.
I had a new encounter today.
You did.
I did. I went to a new physician.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he is, I don't know exactly what he is. I think I overwhelmed him.
He does something.
He does something. It was consultation, and he had these two young guys that were trainees with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those, because when Kid and I go anyplace, this is how we are. Yeah. Every day, all day, it's dinner and a show. And it's like, I don't know if it was, I'm like, at one point, because I was giving them the A-list material, I really was. Uh-huh. And they just sitting there looking at me, and I said, damn, this is a tough room.
So, sometimes it just goes so quick. It's like, what? It's hard to process. It really is sometimes. And that's not a bad thing. It's just like, hold up, back up, reverse that, replay that.
To encourage him, it's like, it's okay. I want you to laugh. I want you to interact. And same thing with the other guys. And I think what it is, that people are so afraid to respond. And it was like, I came out and I told Kid, I'm like, I don't know if they all had the tisms or what.
You came out there and being like, they must have had touch of the tisms.
Yeah, because I said it was just one of those A-list comedy material, and they just sitting there looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like one of the difficult things when
you do well on TikTok.
I don't think so. I don't know. We'll see what the future brings. It's one of those things that when you listen to somebody else's journey and you're like, damn. But when you listen to yourself telling your own journey and you're like, damn. Mm-hmm. And I looked at Dade and I said, and then I wonder why I feel tired.
Yeah. But you also said that they felt off or something like that.
Yes. They said that there were other people that are having similar dysfunction, which is this fatigue. It is this overwhelming fatigue, but it's not necessarily a sleepiness.
Yeah.
And it's like you'll have things that you need to do, want to do, but you end up not doing. You end up just sitting.
Somehow everyone's soul just got tired.
I think so. And it was like you got to see a friend in the city of food that you hadn't got to see in quite a while. And it was incredible. And I pointed out to you, it's like, do you see how God had to coordinate all this stuff, the exact timing for you to be able to see this woman?
Yeah.
That we're going down a particular aisle, getting ready to go, and then there she was coming out. There's no coincidence. No. It's a matter of recognizing miracles when they occur. Mm-hmm. And that you had her on your heart for quite a while. And just to stand and let you speak with her. And she's another incredible human.
She is. She's really awesome. People are like, or she says that she's a bitch. She's not a bitch.
No, she's had a lot of pain. It was just all over her. She just, radiates off of her.
But she also just has a low tolerance for stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, she's Scorpio.
Mm-hmm. I believe.
Well, anyhow, there's a lot of us that have a low tolerance
on that, but I'm pretty sure she's Scorpio.
And it's just because that it is in such epidemic proportions, it's hard on a lot of us these days. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we will find out whether this gentleman is a something or a nothing.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, and it was one of those.
Hopefully it's a something.
He did something that someone has not done for a very long time. He shook my hand.
That's awesome.
It was way awesome. And I told him, I said, that is a good handshake. Mm-hmm. And that shows confidence. That shows strength of character. Mm-hmm. It wasn't one of these like cold fish type.
little floppy hand
those
fish.
type of people, you're like, And it was interesting because in the wall of his office, he had Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And I'm like, that is phenomenal.
I don't know. What is that?
Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it is basically as far as a human being has different needs. And at the very bottom, you have food, clothing, shelter, that type thing.
Right.
And then above that, need for safety, need for belonging. And I don't have it in front of me right now, so I can't really,
Yeah, it's all right.
discuss all of it.
Yeah.
And then at the highest tier is a matter of self-actualization. And that's where you are secure and confident within yourself. And that can lead to an opening of creativity. And that's what's stopping a lot of people right now. They don't feel safe. They don't feel loved. They don't feel heard. They don't feel seen. And then we wonder why society is going all to hell. Well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy the meeting.
That's good.
Even though I didn't get the audience response that I wanted.
Yeah.
But, it's
maybe
just
next time. Maybe next time.
Sometimes
when they
you
warm
just
up,
play to a cold room, and that's how it is.
maybe they just need to warm up to you.
I think so. And I think husband years ago, he's like, you overwhelm people. And it's like, okay. Of course, at that point in time, it was a matter of trying to explain to somebody his diagnoses and the issues and stuff like that. And the whole situation is overwhelming.
It is.
Yeah. But I told the doctor, I said, Google search my name. Not Orlando, the actual name.
Yeah.
As far as being an advocate for people that are mentally ill and incarcerated. I've done stuff.
You have. You've done a lot of stuff.
I've done shit I don't even know that I've done. Not all of it was good. Coffee slurping.
What about the good stuff?
Well,
That's what matters. You've grown as a person. Why bring
That's
up
true.
that stuff?
that's true. Well, I do. Because I'm very much aware of the stuff that I did that was not good. I don't dwell on it, but it's there because those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it.
That is true.
And then at the City of Food, we stopped by one of these name brand coffee shops because, damn, when I can have the opportunity to have a cup of coffee while I shop, why would I not take advantage of that?
Right. You can always bring your own coffee to say.
Oh, hell no.
Like in a thermos or something. Then
But
pour it
one
in
of-
the cup.
One of the ladies behind the counter, and she had quite a bit of ink, especially, there on her fingers and different things like that. And I'm like, let me see your journey.
She didn't understand.
She did later.
Yeah, she did. She found out.
Yeah. Because those of us who have ink, that is a matter of putting our journey to where the world can see. And that was like your friend. Her ink is very sacred to her.
It is. She takes that shit seriously.
Yes, she does. And she has such good energy.
She really does. People say that she's a hard ass. Well, sometimes she can be, but it's like, it's always with love.
Well, a lot of times circumstances make people, I mean, it's like you get tough or you die. And so we collect a lot of people that would very much fall within the biker category,
Yeah.
which is why I have never had a problem with bikers. Because I respect them. I respect where they have been. I know where a lot of those guys and women have come from. Same thing with the gang members.
Yep.
And when you take individuals as individuals and learn about their journeys, because those are fascinating, and you can that helps with empathy, because it is a living, breathing human being
It is.
that has had high points and low points and all points in between. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's just what I do. I've always done things like that. Weird. Weird.
Weird. You're not weird.
Something else that is weird, or some people may view it as weird, and I had pondered this because of our circumstances within our family years ago, and was actually was going to talk about the sort of Damocles there. And then I thought, well, it's a little late in the evening for that. We'll do that. We'll save that for another cup. This light and fluffy stuff.
Yeah.
And was scrolling through the headlines and found something, again, near and dear. And it was a picture that it was a missing elderly Florida man, and he had dementia, and that they were able to find him. He was laying on train tracks, but the police helicopter found him, before anything bad happened.
Good.
And 5 hours with a missing loved one is time stops.
Mm-hmm.
You are in a level of hell that people who have never gone through that, and I hope that if you haven't gone through that, you never do have to live through that.
How did he end up there?
He just wandered off because he does have dementia, and they wander.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? You're right on that, because I've seen a bunch of people on TikTok, like the people with family members taking care of people with dementia. They'll always have to lock the doors, stuff like that. Have to hide keys.
And because of what happened,
And they'll sometimes get in fights with them about that.
Right. And because of what happened with husband, as far as the dissociative identity disorder, and that some of the ones inside of him would take off. Mm-hmm. Like I said, 9 months that he was gone, he had no working memory of it. None. And so we had discussed having him microchipped.
Yeah, potentially.
And so
Couldn't find anyone to do it.
We couldn't. We could not find anybody that's like, oh, well, there's ethical concerns.
Now I'm sure they're
What?
willing.
Ethical concerns? How in this shit we microchip pets? Mm-hmm. If you've got a loved one that has dementia and becomes lost, and they're saying, oh, it's unethical to microchip this individual, even though we know that they have brain issues.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid.
I think in a way people could abuse that, and that's one of the ethical reasons. And also almost viewing them as animals in a way. With that sort of thing.
These double standards absolutely make me want to scream.
Yeah. I mean, they're brain breaking. They truly are.
But yeah, we actually, and this was years ago, went to attorneys, and they're like, I think we may have called a vet. Mm-hmm. And that they wouldn't do it.
Well, no, they don't operate on humans.
Right. Well, I mean, it's
Could we buy a microchip and do it ourselves?
You think about it. It's, again, those are about the size of a grain of rice. You've got these people that are getting chipped to open their car doors and all this other shit. Mm-hmm. And then you've got these other people that's like, it's the mark of the beast.
That one's not.
Bullshit.
Neuralink, yeah.
I don't know that any of this stuff. I don't know. But I know that when you've got a loved one and that they wander out of your sight, because people, let me tell you, it's exhausting when you are taking care of somebody who has Alzheimer's and stuff. It's exhausting for everybody in the household. There's no break. You switch shifts, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But the thought, and at least 90-some-year-old great aunt, because that there were ambulatory issues, we didn't have to worry about her going outside by herself. Mm-hmm. But there are people that do not have the ambulatory issues, like the poor little old man that ended up on the train tracks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if he had had some kind of microchip or something like that, that maybe it wouldn't have taken 5 hours to find him. And thank God that they found him. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's a miracle that they did.
So these are some of these ethical dilemmas that people are going through right now. You know. Michael would have agreed, that's husband. He wanted the damn microchip.
He did, and nobody was willing to do it.
But the thing is, the other one's inside of him, and there have been signs of integration. So you all please continue to pray. He's had no missing time in about a year. No missing memories. Nobody has reported him doing anything bizarre.
Yep.
So
he's got people watching him for that.
Oh, yeah. He's been able to get off medications. And just grateful to God. Grateful.
Yep.
But, as being able to do and not do, and the ones inside of him probably, because we know that there was an unclean spirit.
Oh, yeah.
We're not shitting about that. You know, that where would you have put it that one wouldn't have had it removed?
Right. It could. I mean, he
that one
unplugged himself from a machine.
Yes, I was getting
somehow.
To that. I was getting to that point that yes, it was one of those things that he ended up, and it was a self-harm attempt, and that he ended up in the ER and had tubes and all this bunch of stuff, and because he was doing court, and attorney told me, he's like, you're going to have to appear on his behalf. And I'm like, what? So here I am, have gone through the trauma of all this stuff, hadn't brushed my hair, hadn't brushed my teeth. I don't even know what the hell I had on. And had to appear in court, or they were going to come and chain him to the bed, husband to the bed. Yeah.
Oh. Some shit.
So had that, and I had told the hospital staff, I said, look, he has dissociative identity disorder, you know, and the ones inside of him, it's like none of them are stupid. Make sure he does not leave the unit. Oh, it's fine. We've got automatic doors and everything like that. So I come back from court with his mother. I don't even know why. I don't even know if she was in court or what. But anyhow, she's in the car with me. Roll up in front of the hospital. There stands husband in his hospital gown. One hand holding a cigarette, waving us down. The other hand holding the back part of his gown together. I'm like, what the hell? And I told her, I said, you get him. I said, I'm going inside to find out what the hell happened. And I had a look when I hit that floor.
I bet you did. I bet you did. Oof.
And they said that the automatic doors malfunctioned. Knowing now what we know, that was probably more than likely unclean spirit that did that.
Yeah. That was definitely unclean spirit that did that.
But husband, that was one of the first times I had asked him later, I said, what happened? And he said, a voice inside me said, I want a cigarette. And it's like this internal dialogue, not like self-talk. The other voice said, I don't have a cigarette. And then the first one's like, oh, go get a cigarette. You know, I'm hooked up to all these machines. Unhook yourself. I don't know how to unhook myself. I'll show you how. And it did.
Ugh.
Not an alarm went off. None of them.
That's scary.
Yeah. And so it was one of those that at some point in time they were examining him or whatever the hell it was, because there was one of them that there was one point that I had walked out of the hospital. I said, I'm done. I am done. And the hospital called me back because they couldn't do anything with him.
Isn't that their job?
And so it was a matter of, he had to have a hospital bed. Do you know what it's like to try two people sleep on a hospital bed?
No.
Let me tell you, I didn't sleep.
I bet you didn't.
And then the next morning, for the workman to come to look at the door to find out why it didn't close, and I'm like, I know why you're here.
What was the conclusion on that?
I don't know. It was just one of those that any of those, the security doors, they're supposed to be automatic doors where they close, and they did not.
Mm.
And they knew that I could have sued their asses.
Yeah, very much on that.
So,
some shit.
Is it, when you have somebody that could potentially get licensed, and like I said, I know it would open up this huge can of worms, because everybody is so concerned about being, the surveillance state 24/7 and all this stuff, and it's constant paranoia, and some of the paranoia is just a matter of observation and awareness that the shit really is the way that it is.
Mm-hmm.
But then you've got kids and stuff, and it's like the thought of, having a tracking device on your child in today's world.
Air tags. You got to worry about just people in general putting tags in your car.
Mm-hmm.
Air tags.
Yeah.
People have gotten tagged. Just, they stick it up where the wheel is or under the hood or something like that. Can track whoever's car they put it in. It's scary.
It is scary. We're living in some really perilous times.
We are.
And so as far as to chip or not to chip, but I just found it odd. And that when I brought this topic up years ago, because I'm always ahead of the game, I don't know how that works, but it does. People looked at me funny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, with somebody, if they had the dementia and stuff like that, and it doesn't have to be something that's inserted under the skin or whatever.
Right.
Even as far as some kind of something they could wear around their ankle or whatever like that. But honestly, to have it just under the surface of the skin would be the easiest, most logical thing.
Yeah. I mean, that would be simple.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because you wouldn't have to worry about trying to get the device on them, off of them. You know how sometimes they will pick at things, and because they get confused and they don't know what certain things are. And yeah.
Yep.
It's a level of hell. So we want to know your thoughts on this.
Yes, please.
What to do?
Ain't that some shit?
What to do?
Yeah.
And it is crazy. It is absolutely, the world is upside down.
It's not supposed to be like this.
Well,
It should
no.
never.
No, but it is, and it's a matter of what do we do with it as it is.
Try to take care of the parts that we're in.
Uh-huh.
And pray.
Yeah. Constant prayer. Absolutely constant prayer. But we want your dialogue about this, your thoughts. What would you do? What would you want done if, God forbid, you develop some kind of condition to where,
Cats. Sorry.
Yeah, cats are tearing down the door, but it'll be all right. That's standard procedure for us anymore. We just want to know your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, kid?
I don't know. It to an extent, I can understand like being ethical issues with the chipping, but at the same time, there should, if it's someone that is like high stage dementia or like severe no shared memory, DID, yeah, in that case, they do need to be chipped. Just in case. It wouldn't hurt.
I think there should be an option.
Yeah.
I really do.
There needs to be.
I think that if some industry came in and wanted to do something like that, I think that, I'm surprised there hasn't been some industry that does that. And maybe there is, and I'm not aware of it.
I wonder if the Neuralink can be also used as a tracker.
Oh, I'm sure that it can, but Neuralink is a much more sophisticated device, and as far as it's like the story of the dude is like he was a serial cheater and he wanted Neuralink to help him, save his marriage, and it's like, dude, you eat up with sin and you need some self-control. Neuralink is not there to take away your, as far as your responsibility for gaining self-control.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knows, and God love his wife. I mean, really. So, damn. I think they used to, as far as there was a substance that was called saltpeter that would help with some of that stuff. But
some shit. Some shit. World is on its head.
Well, it's just people not wanting to have personal accountability and responsibility.
Yeah. Oh.
So, that was your final thoughts on some of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Neuralink is at this point it was to help people who were paraplegics and quadriplegics and stuff like that regain some usage of their body.
Yeah.
And for these people who have been stuck in that hellish condition, do I think that Elon Musk is a proponent of Satan? No, I don't. I think that he's a very intelligent man, and I want to believe that he has good intentions.
I think he's definitely a businessman.
Yeah.
But he doesn't seem like one of the horrible ones, or
I don't
at
think
least
so. I don't,
And if he is, damn, he's a good actor.
I don't think he wants to necessarily rule the world.
No, I think he just wants to try to integrate technology with
people.
Yeah,
he is a transhumanist on that.
Try to force evolution in a way.
Well, since I don't believe in evolution, it's not, evolution is going to happen on a spiritual basis, not necessarily a physical basis.
All evolution is adapting to whatever else.
Right.
What new. Just adapting to that.
And society is changing.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's what do we do with it? And as far as chipping an elderly, putting a tracking chip in an elderly, demented person, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like I said, when we do that for pets, day in and day out.
Mm-hmm.
And then to sit there and go, oh, well, it's not ethical to do that to people. Bullshit.
Like I said, I'm supportive of the people who would get the chip.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonder how many of those have endured what we did to have somebody say, oh, I'll be back. I'm going to walk this amount of time, and have to call the police when that amount of time had expired. Mm-hmm. And have the police come to your door and look you in the eye and say, we can't find him. And I will, whoever that female officer was, and God love her, the look on my face, I know she wanted to hug me. Because that's what females, that we do that. We do that. And when you're in a position of authority like that and you can't do that, it's hard on us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, all kinds of interesting stuff. If you've had experiences with the paranormal, supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, brain chips, tracking chips,
yes,
you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And the email address is always there in the description box. And I will tell you, I need to put a thing in the description box to thank WOMBO. Because WOMBO is where when we get the AI generated things, I'm enjoying the WOMBO.
Yeah.
It's cool. Cool
You've
pictures.
been having fun with it for a long time now.
I have.
I think that's awesome. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all and have a good.
Know that you're loved.
Mm-hmm.
Always keep asking questions.
Yes.
If somebody says don't ask questions, ask more questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, don't you let them silence you. That's what the
They
devil
tell you
wants.
to be quiet. Why?
Right.
Why should I be quiet?
I was always one of those. It's like they told me I had to do what that's a little bit of the oppositional defiant disorder.
Just a little bit. It's all right.
You all are loved, and Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.